Supply chain issues, not oversupply, could slow Miami's condo boom. So they talk about going up 80 stories in Brickell, and then could this slow down the condo boom? Let's get into it and read it. Let's see what they say. Financing is plentiful. So that means a lot of money around, capital coming in and out, pushing to South Florida. Buyers are signing contracts with non-refundable deposits, and developers in South Florida are keeping their sale launches rolling and their condos selling. Miami's condo market, known for its booms and busts, is in the middle of a big boom that would typically be threatened by, inevitably, an oversupply of condos. But the dreaded trio of supply chain breakdowns, rising costs, and labor shortages poses the greatest hazard. To offset rising construction costs and prepare for supply chain induced shortages, some contractors and developers are purchasing materials and storing them in warehouses earlier, or modifying sales contracts to account for changes to the materials and appliances. Those measures may be more widely adopted now that a land war in Europe and some of the toughest financial sanctions against Russians in generations threaten to disrupt the supply chain even further. I quote, "You never know how long the hot market is going to last," said Property Markets Group developer Ryan Shear. "But I think for a foreseeable future, it's a great time to be in Miami. Developers have focused on feeding the surging demand for new housing. Less than a year into the pandemic, once it was clear there would be continued to be plenty of buyers for new condo developments, developers started unveiling projects quietly. But there will be a year-long lag between now and when those projects are completed. Construction prices are out of control, and supply chain issues are really problematic," says Susan Amaducci Adams, a Miami attorney who heads the real estate practice of Bilzen Sumberg Growing Pipeline. In 2021, PMG and 11 partners launched sales of both phases of their nightclub branded amenity-heavy condo towers in a less than glamorous part of downtown Miami. The first phase almost sold out within 2 months. By November, the developers had begun construction, and in February, they secured construction financing for the first tower. After years of staying quiet about its condo projects, waiting for demand to return, BMG kicked off sales of the Waldorf Astoria Residence Miami, which would be the city's tallest residential tower at 100 stories, with its partner, Graybrook Realty Partners. Shear said, "PMG is moving as quickly as possible, and that is in a perfect world, the developer would go vertical on 4 of its 6 Florida condo projects this year." That's a half of the equation. The other half is delivering. That's where you'll see developers or builders struggle, Shear said. Not only can you sell it, but can they deliver it? Developers, both old and new, have been propelled by the hot residential market. Hotel and condo sales grew exponentially over the past 2 years, sparking bidding wars and multi-million-dollar flips as out-of-staters flocked to Florida. Related Group began selling projects across nearly all price points throughout the Tri-County region. In Miami, District 225, an Airbnb condo building, Related is building with Rover Development, is fully sold after beginning sales last summer, said John Paul Perez, president of Related. There's been a jump in condo projects with hotel or short-term rental components, which are clustered throughout greater downtown Miami. In that area, there are 15 such developments that will add over 4,400 units to the area, according to ISG Miami World's report. New branding, Related also recently secured 100 reservations within a week of launching a similar short-term rental-friendly building at Miami World Center in partnership with Merrimack Ventures. With new branding, Related projects that were canceled during the last cycle are now selling, including Casabella's Residence by BB Italia and the Related partner with Alta Developers to build on the site of the Albridge Residence projects that was canceled in 2016. And more are planned. Of Related's 12 condo projects in the pipeline, totaling about $5.6 billion in expected revenue, the firm's plans to begin sales of new projects in Wynwood, Bal Harbour, Hillsborough Beach, and Fisher Island, Perez said. Still, supply chains problems and increasing construction costs are some of the biggest challenges Related faces. Perez says construction costs are increasing to 10 to 15% every month. He said this back in December, and we're in March. Sometimes you're just not stronger than the market at the time, Perez said. For now, the rise in construction costs have been offset by the increases in apartment rents and condo prices, developers say. Carlo Rosso, a developer of the standard residence, said he raised prices of some units by 15% since launching sales last year. Labor costs. Labor costs are a major issue for contractors who are trying to maintain a qualified workforce that can deliver these developments. Over the next 2 years, the construction industry will need to hire 2.2 million workers to keep up with the housing demand across the U.S., according to a report by Home Builder Institute. The pandemic accelerated major life changes for hundreds of thousands of people who ended up moving to Florida. The rapid increase in the sales of single-family homes, many to out-of-state buyers, and the subsequent surge in prices fueled the condo resale market, which was struggling prior to COVID. In 2019, developers of new projects were dealing with a glut of luxury condos, but less than 2 years later, the market did a complete 180. The numbers don't even look right, said Ron Sheffield, president of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, EWM Realty, referring to the huge annual increases in residential sales. Sheffield, who refers to single-family homes as collector items, pointed to the Brickell market as an example. In the financial district of Miami, which was the center of the last condo bust, about 3,300 condos sold in 2021, making it the top neighborhood in the city last year. Countywide, over 25,000 condos sold last year, up 78% compared to 2020, and up 69% compared with 2019, according to the broker's data, which cites the multiple listing service. After selling out the Mr. C residence luxury condo tower under construction in Coconut Grove, Terra converted plans for their second building into condos from rentals, said David Martin, CEO of Terra. There's really a restricted supply in our market, he said. Demand has been continuous, but over the last year, we've really seen a strong push.